But March 4th
Yes.
is the album release, vinyl release, and we're putting our new music video out. And like I said, we're playing with these bands that are awesome. This like kind of 70s glam rock style band, and then this like 50s rockabilly kind of like Dwayne Eddy style band.
Cool.
And we have a couple cool DJs that are going to be doing like glitter disco 70s stuff. So really excited, and it's free. So it's going to be a good one.
Okay, good. We'll get this episode out quickly. Okay, I admit it. I fucked up. I fucked up big time. I fucked up royally. I didn't put this podcast out on a good time. Episode, you know the episode. It's episode, whatever the number I put up there. It's that episode with Tokyo Lucky Hole. Welcome to the Dante Elephante podcast. I fucked up, guys. I did this interview in maybe late February. It's looking, like as I was editing this thing, I realized that they're promoting a show for March 4th, and things got very busy for me. We went on a tour. I was out on tour. I did my own tour in March, which was really fun. Actually, thanks everyone who came out to those shows. I never really got to thank everyone. We played Mississippi Studios in Portland. We did 2 So Far Sounds in Seattle, which was a whole thing in itself. The Shakedown in Bellingham, which is great. The Crocodile in Seattle, which was actually awesome. My first, headlining show in Seattle that hit. It's hit or miss, they say, but it was a hit. Shout out to Daryl. Shout out to everyone we met that on while we were in Washington. That shit was so fun. Spokane. It was what it was again. Thanks, but it was better than the last time. So something's happening in Spokane, but it's happening in slow increments, and we're doing it all on Tuesday nights. But it's fun. It's still a fun time every time. I got to reconnect with a friend from high school. Shout out to Sean Adame. I got to hang out with him. I didn't know he lived in Spokane, and then I reached out to him on Facebook. I not just a high school friend, an elementary, junior high, and high school friend, which was, I did not expect any of that, which was insane. And then we did Tree Fort. Tree Fort was once again amazing. We played at this place. Oh man, we played at this Masonic temple, and the Masonic temple had like this liquid light show. Shout out to the Alchemist Liquid Light. And it was crazy. And if I have some footage on my phone, I'll toss it up for the video version of this podcast. And then we hit the new territory. These are all new clubs, new cities, new everything. We did Ketchum, Idaho, Missoula, Montana, Butte, Montana. All of them, knock them out of the park, bangers. Every show was a banger. I couldn't believe it. It was so fun. Ralph couldn't finish the tour, so I was playing bass. So the Ruben playing bass, the Dante playing bass portion of the tour started in Ketchum, Idaho, and it was insane. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I could play bass and sing, but we made it work, and it was really, really fun. But that was all new territory for me. And Butte, Missoula, Montana's a funny place, man. Hope Californians do not ruin Montana as well, but Montana's beautiful. It's so weird, and it's so spooky, and it's so awesome. And then we hit Salt Lake, Sacramento. We opened up for the Regrets, which is awesome. Those girls were really sweet, and they were really nice to us. Sometimes you do an opening gig and the headliner doesn't talk to us. Headliner doesn't talk to the opening band, but they were really sweet, and they were really, thankful that we were playing, and we were thankful to be playing. I love Sacramento, and yeah, it was really fun. Chico was really great. Love Chico. San Francisco, not so sweet, San Francisco, but that's okay. We're gonna make it up for you guys real soon. Santa Ana at La Santa, that was also a very fun venue, very strange venue. It was the last show of the tour, and it was very strange. It was kind of like, when you're at a show and someone's like dancing too much, and this girl shaking her ass, and like she was super drunk, and nobody else was as drunk as she was, so it was kind of just like a weird vibe. And boy, I guess, damn, I haven't talked to you guys in a long time. On April 24th, I played at the Echo with Austin Weber. That was a really fun show. Thanks to everyone who came out. It was nice to talk to all of you. It was a solo set. Unfortunately, we could not make the full band happen, but we do have I'll talk about the shows coming up, but we do have some makeup dates over there coming up soon. So that was it. That was that tour. It was very fun. We actually had amazing shows, and I'm excited to go back out and do it all again. Today's episode is with Tokyo Lucky Hole. They are from Orange County / LA. They have a new album out now, Travolta Dragon Duel. First song is 6 minutes and 30 seconds. It's a big one, but you know what? I talked to them about it. I talk about long songs and epics, and we talk about making this record, and we talked about Foxygen, and we talked about their influences, and you know, yeah, it's a lot of me talking. I realize I talk too much in this one, but all the while you will get to know the inner workings of Tokyo Lucky Hole. Go catch a set. I don't know when their next show is, but they were playing at the Highland Park Bowl, which I love that place. They were playing there in March. I fucked up. I'm so sorry. But they're really great, and I'm glad I got to talk to them. And excellent. We have some new dates. Dante Elephante is going on tour yet again. In fact, I am leaving next week. I leave May 16th, Sacramento at Harlow's. We're playing with Chick Chick Chick. We're playing 3 dates with Chick Chick Chick. That is 3 exclamation marks. If you don't know Chick Chick Chick, they're very fun, very dancey. We are opening for them. Tuesday, May 17th in San Francisco at the Chapel with Chick Chick Chick. Come hang out. Thursday, May 19th, San Diego at Casbah. But we are playing San Francisco again. If you are one of those people who were upset that I did not play on that last run, hit me up. I'll see how many guest list spots I can hook people up with. San Diego at the Casbah. Never played there before. That should be very fun. If you live in San Diego, come watch us with Chick Chick Chick. After that, we are on our own. Gallup, New Mexico. We're playing at Levitt on Saturday, 5/21, May 21st. Let's see, 5/23, Albuquerque, New Mexico at Sister Bar. 5/24, Dallas, Texas, Sundown at Granada. 5/25, Cushing, Oklahoma, Duncan Theater. And then Friday, the 27th, Austin, Texas, Spiderland Ballroom with Baby Jake. We're doing 2 dates with Baby Jake. Houston, Texas at The Rustic. Come hang out in Houston, Texas. Fort Worth, Texas at Tulips, again with Baby Jake. We're doing some fun dates, man. Chick 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 and Baby Jake. That's great. Maybe we'll do a podcast. Maybe I gotta bring my podcast shit. Talk to Baby Jake and Chick Chick Chick. I'm very excited. I'm happy to be back on the road. Of course, June 15th at Davenport, Iowa at Raccoon Motel. June 16th, St. Louis, Missouri, off of Broadway. June 17th, Kansas City, Missouri, at Boulevardia. If that's a festival over there in Kansas City, so come hang out. Saturday, 6/18, Stratford, Connecticut for Road Jam Music. That's another festival over there in Connecticut. July 29th, Los Angeles at the Levitt Pavilion in MacArthur Park. We are playing this massive festival, and we are on the bill with Joe Baton, which is insane. I love Joe Baton. Peanut Butter Wolf is also DJing. I will toss the flyer up. It's a free show. That's just a free show, all ages, in the park of MacArthur Park in Los Angeles. If you live in Los Angeles, come hang out. This is the Summer of Soul with a bunch of great Latin artists. And you gotta come hang out. A free all ages show. What's the matter with you? What are you waiting for? Okay, yeah, so Tokyo Lucky Hole. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We are back. I have 2 more episodes backlogged, and I will be on the road for 2 weeks. It's also my birthday on Thursday. I am turning 32. And I'm seeing Paul McCartney. I guess I didn't even talk about that. I am seeing Paul McCartney on Thursday. This will be my third, on Friday. This will be my 3rd time seeing Paul McCartney. I'm very excited. Can't wait to, I guess I'll recap that for next week's intro. And yeah, thanks so much for everyone listening, and I'll see you out there on the road. Okay, Tokyo Lucky Hole. Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for being on. This is my first Zoom podcast in a while. I think 2022, I was just, being myself, right? I was convinced that everything's normal and we're going back to in-person podcasts. And and it didn't work out that way. And I'm pretty bummed. And but you know what? It's what we have to do. I think I can handle it going back to Zoom, and shows came back, and it's all just been like, Last year was weird. It was like a transitional getting used to like, is this the real world still? Where are you guys at with that? Have you been playing shows? Are you back to semi-normal life, just trying to maneuver this shit? Or where are you guys at?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, going from at work, work at a music place, retail store, and we had about 2 weeks where we took off the masks, and our manager came around and was like, you guys, vaccinated, you're cool to take the masks off, and then just, right away back on. And so it's been a pretty weird time, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth, and it's just not worth like planning all that much outside of just laying low, but we've definitely been playing a good handful of shows and a lot more coming up too in the next month or so.
Oh, really? Where are these shows? Let's promote all the shows and things now at the top.
Well, we're most excited about the vinyl release show, and we're releasing the music video at the same time on March 4th. We're playing with a couple of really cool bands that we like, Twang Bang Bang and Billy Tibbles, and that's going to be at the Highland Park Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What day is that? It's March 1st?
March 4th a Friday.
Man, I love the Highland Park Bowl. That is such a cool place. I was living down the street from that place for 3 years, and I would just go. I saw Nathan Fielder there. It's just a cool place, and I love Nathan For You, and I love Nathan Fielder. So every time I used to see him in Highland Park, I'd be like, "Oh my God, it's him!" I would freak out on him. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Nathan For You as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So is everyone? You guys are all based in LA?
Well, we kind of are all from Orange County originally, but I'm living in LA, in East Hollywood area.
Oh, cool. What about let's just go around? Where's everyone else from?
Yeah, so we're in my place right now in Santa Ana. So the rest of us are still in OC.
All Orange County.
Yeah.
Yorba Linda area.
Nice. What venues are left in Orange County? Who made it?
Oh, well, our favorite venue that we play at is the Wayfair in Costa Mesa.
I've heard of that place. Yeah.
The Detroit bar was a pretty famous punk bar back in the day.
Right.
So we like that spot. We played there probably close to 20 times, I think.
Right.
And then, the observatory and the constellation room are pretty cool.
Oh man, those venues are crazy. The Constellation Room, I played there a couple times and it was awesome. Haven't played the Wayfarer yet. I'm playing La Santa. Have you guys been there?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. We played there, yeah.
You played there before?
Yeah, that's right down the street from where we're at here. Yeah.
Oh, really? What's the vibe like there? Because I'm playing there in March and I've never been. So
it's the underground one, right?
That's right. Yeah. It's a pretty cool spot. I definitely like the vibe of it. It's like Ben said, it's like an underground bar. It's underneath. What was that? A restaurant, or was it just the upper part of the bar, or whatever it was? But it was really sweet. This cool stage, good sound. I mean, yeah, we had a great time there.
Oh, cool.
So good luck. We'll definitely come out. What time are you? What's the date you're playing?
March. It's April 2nd or something. Yeah, I have to get my dates correct. Yeah.
Sweet. Cool.
These things get booked and I'm just I don't know. I'll have to remember these dates at some point. Yeah.
We'll track you now, don't worry.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that we know each other and all that. Yeah.
You were just in Chicago. What was that like?
Chicago was cool. We had a full tour booked through Texas and everywhere, but then we had to cancel it just because, COVID got so crazy. But I was we had a bunch of things planned in Chicago, like an audio tree and DJing for House of Vans. And I was like, can we make this run work? Which is already freaky enough to hop on a plane and head to Chicago. But we were able to make it work. And, people didn't want to come out for, we still had a great show. A lot of people showed up, but definitely I had a lot of people tell me yeah, I really wanted to go, but and I'm getting a lot of those at every show. I really wanted to go, but things are different. It's all right, well, I don't have time for if things are different. I just gotta fucking
let's hit the road.
Yeah, I have to play. I have to perform. I love that side of it so much. But yeah, Chicago was great. It was awesome. It started snowing. I was not prepared for the snow. It's I've only seen snow I don't know. First time I saw snow was 2018. So I don't really understand it, and I don't really have clothes for it. So that's
nobody does.
Right. I was on stage with sandals and shorts and whatever, and some girl in the audience was from California, and she walked up to me after the show and was like, "I could tell you're from California because nobody dresses like that here, and you look like California right now." I'm like, "Oh yeah," and then I opened the door and it was fucking snowing. It was awful.
There was a video that I came across on Instagram, an advertisement from Seymour Duncan with you.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize that you worked for them. What is it that you do there?
I do the social media. I'm part of the marketing team, social media marketing. And so I was on tour, and they gave me product to use, and like, hey, can you like make some video while you're out there on tour? I was like, okay. So I made that video. I thought it was pretty funny. It's weird, because Seymour's audience is like really heavy and metal, and like I don't think a lot of them understood me or what, this like world of music that isn't like heavy and like, I don't know. I don't want to talk shit on the metal community, but like, yeah, I don't know. They're not the nicest. Let's just say that. But I don't know. You work at a music store. What music store do you work at?
I work at Guitar Center.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I went to several different music shops on my last tour, and I asked them the same thing, like, "Hey, where do you guys keep your pickups?" And it's just like nobody has pickups, and no one displays pickups, and it's just like, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I did some diving on you guys, and a lot of the videos are let's say it, they're a little old. They're from 2019. Mm-hmm. What have you guys been doing since 2019? To now.
Go ahead, bud.
Yeah.
What have we been doing?
Well, we started really collaborating more thoroughly, and especially throughout the pandemic, and we got a pretty tight batch of new songs that we are pretty proud of, and we recorded them with a dude in Long Beach at a studio called Jazz Cats.
Oh, I've heard of that place. Yeah.
We got those recordings done, and then we did film another music video. My brother shot it and directed it, and we're going to be, releasing that one pretty soon. But I'm really, really stoked with the songs. We just put them out, and we're going to have them on vinyl for the first time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. The nice thing about the last couple of years is, like Clay said, we were really able to kind of just refocus on like writing new material together, and I think like you said, we're really proud and happy with the way everything came out. So we're looking forward to kind of the final release of everything, which will be the music video and vinyl. Overall it was a great time. It's like you said, we haven't put out much new in the last couple of years, but we've been working hard and excited to get everything out there.
That's awesome. And what was the work process like during the pandemic? Were you guys able to meet up at all? Or were you writing are we sending stems? Like what was the work dynamic between all of you?
I think we were all kind of making our own demos and like sending voice memos to each other and stuff like that. But we did end up getting together. I think we tried a practice with masks on it.
Yeah.
First, we did one. That did happen.
Yeah. So I did notice that there is a new record on Spotify, and the first song is 6 minutes. Why? How? Let's get into a 6 minute. I've never written a 6 minute track, but like I want to hear the thought process. Like, was it hard to like trim it, or did you not want to trim it? Is there a story behind the lyrics? Like, what's up with the 6 minute song?
We wanted to extend it.
Oh, really?
Well, I think just none of us can really help ourselves. The way we tend to write is not really like the standard kind of pop song formula. I think a lot of us put together like pieces of different things that we've written into like one cohesive, piece that ends up as, 6.5 minute songs almost on accident.
So all the different sections.
Yeah.
It was actually 7.5 minutes the first time we were.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're huge fans of episodic structures and songs like Happiness is a Warm Gun, stuff like that. Know My Name by the Beatles is another long one that's just takes you on a ride.
Or, like Pink Floyd tracks where there's, 20-minute side on Backside Animals or whatever it is, where it's just, it is one piece of music together. And, Connor here is pretty much primarily like a classical musician, plays the piano.
Those get quite long.
Yeah. So, it's kind of built in from what our influences are. And I think we definitely strive to, make it our own. And that's the best way we know how, is just to keep the structure that we like, which is no structure.
Which is no structure. Well, that's great. I think it's good. I think there's a place for everything, and I think, aside from like the 3-minute pop song, I think it's good to like have those songs that are super long, and especially if you're trying to make a point or like yell leads to something. And it was really cool. I was just listening to today while I was working, like trying to like, prepare for this interview, and I was like, damn, this is a long track. Like there was another song I listened to the other day, and that's the beauty of like the trick of a long song is to like not make it feel like it's long. Right? That's like the real trick of like, this is 6 minutes, but I didn't even notice it. And the time just flew by, and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, you want to keep listening.
Right,
Not
yeah.
Like, oh, this is still going.
I think you guys did that. I think you guys did just that, and that's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of funny because in order to do it, you kind of have to let go of some little pieces that you think are pretty cool ideas.
Right.
You could kind of flesh out into a whole song, and you have to just kind of let it go as just a piece of the whole of the song, the single thing, rather than fleshing that whole thing out. So yeah, it's kind of fun to figure out together, which pieces we're going to kind of follow down and which ones are just going to be kind of like interludes in between, transitions between the different parts. So,
and I traced a lot of that inspiration back to a show that I went to see at the Roxy, which was Foxygen. And that just totally blew me away because I felt like I was seeing them perform like 50 songs in a matter of an hour-long set or something like that, and I had just never seen anything like that. So
was that the show Tobias Jesso Jr. opened?
Yes, that's the one.
I was at that show.
Oh wow, cool, man.
Yeah,
the Star Power show.
The Star Power tour. Yeah, that was a crazy show. I miss that band. They were fun. Yeah. They were wild. They were exciting, but what can you do? But they were really good. The Roxy. Oh man, I haven't been to the Roxy. I haven't been to any of these places in a long time. Like the Roxy.
Yeah.
I finally played the Echo. Like when things finally opened up, I played the Echo, and like our sound guy like quit on us. Like he literally just left. So we didn't have a sound guy, and it was like getting close to doors, and we hadn't sound checked yet. Like I don't know. There's like some growing pains like coming back into this world of playing shows that like I didn't think was gonna happen, but here we are. We're making it work. Like I said earlier, we're making it work.
Well, definitely, and just like playing live is different than for a long time we were just kind of focusing on the recording, and you just play completely different and you practice completely different for a live show versus recording an album. So it was definitely like you said, some growing pains the first couple shows back. We knew we had to kind of get back on that ball, switch gears a little bit. So yeah, it's been fun.
It's definitely a different mindset, right? So it's like when you're going in the studio, everyone's just focusing in on their parts, and then when you're playing live, you have to focus on how you play together as a group, and it's like, I
have to pay attention to that guy.
I believe it, man. What was that?
I said that guy of all people.
Of all people, yeah. So when did the project start? When did this band start?
I think it must have been 2018 or 2017. Yeah. At the end of 2017, I think November or December, around there. So we've been together for like 4 years or a little over 4 years.
But it doesn't even feel like that because those years were kind of taken. So it's like really you guys have been a band for like 2 years.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been 2 years since, my gosh.
Right, totally. And you started in 2017, you played some shows, you guys got some live videos on YouTube that I can see. Like, were you playing a lot in the OC and then like trying to branch out to LA? Like what was the inspiration to move to LA?
Yeah, I think we kind of played everywhere that we wanted to play in Orange County. And I felt like it was the right move just for us to be able to grow, and all the music, all the better, the best bands and everything like that in this league are playing in LA.
Right. Yeah. I think every band feels that ceiling. I live in Santa Barbara, and there's like you can only play here for so many times, like, and for so long until you're like, okay, we gotta do the LA thing. Like, did you guys all? I guess you moved to LA, but do any of you feel that pressure of moving to LA? Do you feel like you have to move to LA, or are you just willing to make that drive?
I feel like we're close enough.
Yeah, the drive's not so bad. Yeah.
If anything's LA, driving there consistently convinces me to not move there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Santa Barbara's like an hour and a half, and I'm always just like, dude, I'll just make the drive. I lived in LA. It was a massive headache, and I'll just drive an hour and a half. It's fine.
By driving out there, Ben means watching me drive out there.
Yeah. Everyone has a role. I've learned that too. Everyone has a role in the band. What is your role? If you're not driving, what's your role? Are you at least curating the tunes? Like, what's your role?
I am the rider. I also carry things.
Okay.
I carry a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you play?
He one time he did drive us.
That was like 2 times ago, man.
Drove out of his way.
I've driven a couple times.
Driven a couple times.
Help.
What does everyone play? Just so we can get some context of who plays what.
So I play bass.
Okay.
Drum guy.
Off we go.
Oh, you have to carry stuff.
That's right. Except for his stuff.
You have to carry so much stuff. So you can't claim I carry stuff because you have the most stuff to carry.
It's all his
Listen,
stuff.
man.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. Drums are the way they are.
I know.
I didn't make them that way.
I know. It's annoying. I
He
wish we
plays a
had.
10-piece kit.
No.
We'll get there. I'm going to
Van
convince you
Halen
to buy a
style
10
with
piece.
the 3 kick drums.
Oh, yeah. Big
That's
time.
crazy.
28 inches on each one.
The big Neil Peart energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I play the keys.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
easy.
He doesn't carry anything.
Me? I do.
I'm just
No, I think that's a common thing with keyboard players. They don't like to carry shit.
Just kind of hang around and don't
Yes,
things.
just like
Yeah.
carry the keyboard stand and then like that's it. Like,
He kind of gets in and like looks around like he's trying to figure out what he's supposed to be doing.
yes, yeah. I feel like I should be doing something. All right, I'll get the drink tickets. How about that? Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
And I sing and play guitar. And then also for the new record, these guys, Ben and Connor, whipped out their middle school instruments and in order to put some violin and trumpet on our tracks.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
sir.
I'm glad you said violin and trumpet because I was like middle school instruments.
Yeah.
Where is this going?
Yeah.
That's great. You know, I think I think making records is fun. You know, I think it's also very stressful and I can't imagine doing it. I was lucky enough to have a record in the can before everything went to shit. So all I had to do was just mix it and master it, and which was perfect because all I had was time in 2020 to like listen to mixes and masters and like, I don't know, man, trying to organize shows and everything right now. It's just been such a headache that like I do applaud you and your band for like making it work to like get the songs to jam. It's hard enough to get people to jam right now. Like everyone acts like they're so busy. I'm busy, but lots of people act like they're busy and you're not. People aren't busy. I don't know.
I was listening to the new record that you put out, and I was hearing some really nice strings and horns going on. In particular, Find Somebody to Love.
Yeah.
It's a really cool track. Did you hire people to play those, or did you know people? Or
The horns are all people I knew. The strings was someone my friend knew. And that was really tough because I didn't really know. I still don't know how to like notate anything. So I was just kind of singing it to them. And most violin players don't like that. They like they like to see the notes, and I couldn't do that. So I was just like, how about la 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 la, you know? What if it went? It's like that stuff just like doesn't fucking work. And yeah, I don't know. So it took a little while, but it worked.
Jeff Lynne from ELO also never knew how to write
There you go.
parts out for his
And
string
that's-
arrangements and everything.
That's my Jeff Lynne is my inspiration. Like I've produced 2 bands in the last year, and every time I'm just like, should we just like pull out acoustic guitars? Like, and they're just like, no. I was like, yes, 12 strings, Nashville tuning, let's do it. Like a thick bed of Jeff Lynne style ELO guitar. Yeah, I feel like every
Totally,
track
yeah.
needs that. Yeah. Vinyl. So are you guys putting the record out yourselves?
Yeah, everything is like independent right now. We have had only CDs made previously.
Yeah.
And and we didn't even make CDs this time, just vinyl, but we went through the same company and it went pretty smoothly, and we just got them like 2 weeks ago. So
Which company?
it's called Unified Manufacturing.
Oh, I think I've heard of them.
From
Yeah,
what we
'cause
understand, it's very difficult to get vinyl pressed right now.
it's very hard to
Trying
get
do
vinyl
it.
pressed.
So, and it's funny because when we were first looking at doing it, it was like an 8-week lead time. We're like, oh, that sounds fine. We'll just hold off and wait till we're ready. No big deal.
Yeah.
And then by the time we put everything together and had it ready to go, then it was 18 weeks. And then we were feeling like, oh my gosh, like what did we do? But that was kind of like right at the tail end of even being able to put the orders in from what we're hearing. So like, we kind of lucked out with the timing of everything.
It was towards the end of the pandemic, or towards the end of the shutdown lockdowns.
Towards the end of Adele's album cycle. Do you think it's right to blame Adele for fucking up the record press industry with her records? Do you think that's right to blame it all on her?
I usually blame her for most things that go wrong in my life.
Right. Yes? No. I don't know. I've been thinking about this one a lot. Like, I guess if she really made that many records, which is crazy because I just saw another. This is where my mind goes. I'm sorry, I'll take us here, but this is where my mind goes. Is that like this is her worst selling album ever, but it's still the number one selling album of the year, and I just think about all that vinyl wasted.
Oh yeah,
I think about all that stuff wasted, and the resurgence of CDs. I just saw an article about that today. That there is a resurgence for CDs, and I don't know how I feel about that. How do you guys feel about the resurgence of CDs?
I think that's also probably Adele.
Probably, yeah.
Well, I know a few of us, myself included, do collect vinyls, mostly vintage ones. So we're all about those. CDs, I'm not sure. I don't think many of us. I mean, I've got like a small CD collection from crap I was buying growing up, but definitely don't keep up on that and continue buying them. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of interested to see where that goes, but
I think maybe that's the new vintage.
I think CDs, that is the new. Right? I think a lot of Gen Z really missed out on CDs, and now they're longing for it. Like kind of how millennials did with cassettes. Like we missed out on cassettes, so we felt like we needed to like relive that. But I don't know, but cassettes are cheap, so that makes sense. Like CDs are kind of expensive.
My folks had some cool old cassettes. In particular, there was this old Bob Dylan one I was very excited about, and they're all just completely trashed because they get warped so easily.
Yeah.
So whereas like the vinyl like stand up pretty good if people weren't using them as like coasters or whatever.
Frisbees and
cassettes I did not get into.
Man, I think it's smart though. I think it's smart to make CDs and all those other things because there's, like you guys said, 18-month lead time to get vinyl is like a lot. And if you can get the CDs going, at least you can kind of promote the music some way. And I don't know. And I don't feel bad giving away a CD. Like, hey, you want a CD? Here, have a CD. Like it. But for some reason, I can't give away a record because I know how much it costs to get them made. Like, I can't do it.
We can't and won't.
I won't. I refuse. I refuse to give away free shit.
I'll keep them all in the box.
My God, I feel bad.
I just one for free.
I had a cousin DM me on Instagram last week and wanted to buy a record, and I was like, yeah, sure, $25. She was like, what? I was like, $25, like what it costs. And shipping, so I gotta ship it to you. So I think it was a little bit of like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll give you money. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I put up on Instagram at one point from our old T-shirts that we had. I was like, we got a limited, remainder of these, and if somebody wants them, we'll like come to your doorstep and we'll deliver them to you. And then I think I got a bunch of people that were like, yeah, I'm down, but they just didn't realize that I was going to charge them for it. They thought that it was going to be for free. Like, well, I'm going to be like driving over to you,
Yeah, totally. I am Amazon. You have to pay me.
Mm-hmm. Throw our arms up, we'll throw it over here for you.
One thing I learned working at Seymour Duncan is just like how Amazon has fucked with the music industry so much. Have you guys seen these Amazon pedals? Do you know Amazon makes guitar pedals?
No.
I'm sure they're very high quality.
Oh, yeah. What's our thoughts on that? Would we play Amazon Amazon Basics, delay, reverb? Oh, I think they have an overdrive too. That's pretty funny. I don't know what the fuck they sound like, but I just saw them recently. I thought that was interesting.
That's crazy.
There's just too many. Like there doesn't need to be more. No.
If you're gonna buy a knockoff pedal anyway, I mean Behringer makes it for like $25 or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, why are you gonna buy the Amazon Basics one?
They're also $25. Yeah, they're also super cheap.
Because you're already on Amazon.com. And it's like,
I know.
Yeah.
What about an Amazon drum set? Would you buy an Amazon drum set?
Absolutely not. No.
Are you serious?
No, man.
It's probably them trying to take advantage of, moms and pops buying shit for their kids. So they, that's where they shop. They see it there. Hey, there's a whatever, pedal that they want, and off they go. So
it's familiarity.
I already have this.
Right. Totally.
And then 6 months later, they're going to buy their kids another one because it doesn't stay in tune and it sounds even worse than a kid playing drums would anyway.
Yeah, we're really into like analog gear and old vintage equipment.
Right.
And that's kind of why we went into this studio and we recorded on tape for the first time. We just played on like old vintage gear. Like we had a Wurlitzer that we can jump on and a 60s Jaguar and just a lot of fun stuff.
I thought you were going to say we're really into Amazon.com.
We're really into Amazon. Like, come on.
Looking for a sponsorship.
Working on tape is such a different experience. When I did my first record with Jonathan Radio Foxygen, we did it to tape, and it was like the first time I'd ever worked like that. And what was your guys' experience working on the tape? Like, because it's not like Pro Tools. You can't just like, you can't do certain things, or it's not as easy. Like, what was your experience working on tape?
We demoed out all our songs on a Tascam 488, an 8-track cassette recorder. And so we were kind of familiar with the limitations of that medium. And when we went into the studio, we didn't want to waste too much time because we had 8 songs. And we only, we were recording in like 5 days. And so we recorded all the instrumentals onto tape. And then after that, we did overdubs, digitally. So that's how we kind of went around that.
Oh, got it. Yeah. So the basic tracking was done to tape.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly? Drums, bass, guitar, or how?
And keyboard. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was it played live or still track to track?
It was live. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys usually write your demos all live like that?
It just depends. I mean, we do sometimes. Yeah, we have been lately. It's just been easier that way.
Yeah. It's definitely more direct. You just like play it. There it is,
And so do you think you're going to continue moving on working that way, or would you want to go back to, okay, now that we did it this way, we can go back to recording it track to track and taking our time?
I want to take our time, and I want to make something like ELO, with just huge layers and, Phil Spector style strings and backup harmonies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was going to ask though, what was your experience like when you recorded with Rado? How involved was he with everything? Was he like changing the song structures and like giving lyrical ideas, or what was his role?
So I guess it's hard to, it's different, right? Because when I worked with Rado, I was almost like a guinea pig record. Like I was like the second record he had ever produced. So I haven't worked with him in a few. We did call me on the phone together too, and he definitely had some input. Like, oh, we should put a riff here, we should put a riff there. But I think the magic of working with Rado, from what I learned, because I went from like paying hourly, like $50 an hour at a friend's studio, and it sounds normal, to moving with Rado, which was just like, yeah, we should try this. Like, whoa, we have 10 days to make a record. Like, let's just spend basically 24 hours in a day to work on these songs and make sure that they sound right, and to throw shit at the wall. And if it doesn't work, you take it out. And, hey, we only have like, it wasn't an 8-track. It was probably like an 8 or something track, but we had a limitation of how many, layers we could possibly turn on. It's like, oh, we need to put tambourine on that part. Okay, well, we don't have any more space, so there's no vocals here, so we'll just put it up. We'll put the tambourine on the vocal spot. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I thought was really eye-opening and really changed how I viewed recording, because prior to that, I never really liked any of our recordings. And so he's more involved with the tones. He was more involved with just like getting the general vibes, and like he for us, at least back then, he was engineering it himself. And I think he has like an engineer now that works with him, but
that's so cool, man. I love those recordings. They sounded really excellent. How was it that you got connected with that guy?
So, my friend in Santa Barbara, who was managing me and a few other bands, was also managing Foxygen. He was tour managing Foxygen, and then became Foxygen's manager. And then he went on tour with them and was like, hey, because we had also this band called Gardens and Via. They were also managed by all of them. And we did some tracks with our buddy Shane. And he was like, hey, check out this band, I'm friends with in Santa Barbara. They just did some stuff with Shane from Gardens and Via. And he was like, yeah, would they be down to do a full record? And happened like that. I think it was like I got a text in June, hey, Rado might want to record you guys. And then by October, we were at his house, or his parents' house, and recording. It was crazy. It was fun. It was really weird. But then we sat on the record for like a year. So it was just like so heartbreaking to go through all of 2014, sending it to labels and getting weird responses from labels and like, yeah, just sitting on it. I don't know. It's waiting. Waiting is the hardest part. Isn't that what fucking Petty said or something like that? Like it really is the hardest part of the whole process. Like, did you guys send this record out to any labels? Did you guys have to go through that? Like just sending it to people and wait while waiting for lots of different reasons, but for that reasons out of your control?
Not really. Yeah. I don't think we really tried very hard. I mean, I sent out some emails from what I had, but
right.
Nothing too serious, you know.
The unsolicited demo is probably like, yeah, those emails go straight in the trash. Like no one ever responds. Like, and when they do, they're just like, who are you? I'm like, I'm the guy in the band. I'm not the manager. I'm just the guy. Like, yeah, dude, it never fucking works, but it's good to at least, you know, send those emails out and feel like you're doing something. I don't know.
I saw you talking about that with Silver Twin.
Oh, yeah.
And I really loved that interview that you did, by the way, because they don't really have any other interviews online. So I was really stoked that you guys did that.
Well, that was like half the reason I even started this thing, because I was just, you know, I'd started before the pandemic, so I had these ideas of doing this before. But then it opened, you know, once I knew I had to do them on Zoom, it opened it up to like, oh, I can talk to Silver Twin. Or I could talk to these people, like they're not in America, or maybe, you know, they're just busy or whatever, and no one's touring right now, because I did realize last year as touring kind of began, less people were available, so that also became like a different hurdle to jump over. But yeah, someone like Silver Twin, I just, you know, there's a big like comedy podcast scene that I really love. And they all hype each other up, and they all go on each other's shows, and they're all promoting dates, and they're all promoting shit. And then we don't have anything like that. Mm-hmm. Like there's no infrastructure or shows that I could like promote on. Like if I have to hire a PR agency to get me on fucking Pitchfork, which is, I think, dead. Like who gives a fuck about Pitchfork anymore? And like, it's done. It's over. Like it's going to cost a lot of money for something that doesn't do anything anymore. And if you talk to a PR agent, they don't know anything about, they don't have connection to Spotify. That's like what moves shit now, is like getting on a fucking Spotify playlist. And even then, like the friends I do know who've gotten on Spotify playlists, their views, their listeners go up, and then they just fall flat once the playlist has moved on. So it's like, what is it now? I don't know what it is now. I think the best thing I've had luck on is getting those Discover Weeklies and getting on someone's playlist every week. But other than that, I don't know where the industry is right now. It's a weird place, and going out and playing shows is even weirder. Like,
yeah,
you know,
there's so much new music, you know, people are like going around, they find their thing, they get their fix, and then they move on, you know. It's interesting. Maybe they'll come back, you know. You never know.
Who knows?
Like, oh, what's that?
Who knows? Like, how do you guys find new music, or are we just listening to old music all the time, which is what I do. I just listen to old music all the time.
Yeah, we do listen to a lot of old music. I was a really big fan of Jonesy's Jukebox when it was around. I don't think it is anymore, unfortunately, but that was how I was discovering a lot of music. We were just talking about how we heard Sparks for the first time on that radio show. So I liked that. And then I also like to go to artists' playlists that they make on their Spotify. So that's kind of how I've been discovering music. What about you guys?
Yeah, that as well. Spotify will sometimes just pop up with stuff that mostly is trash, but sometimes they'll get a hit where, you know, that just keeps playing stuff. So that works out sometimes. But like I mentioned before, you know, I am pretty avid vinyl enthusiast. So a lot of times, like, you know, I'll go into record shops, you know, locally and around, and just try to look for new stuff, or talk to the store owners, let them know what I'm interested in, or sometimes I'll just walk up with what I'm trying to buy, and then they'll, you know, start throwing out, you know, information about some other stuff I have no clue about. And then, you know, like, oh, I got this record right here of the guy who produced that, you know, whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah, find new stuff that way, which is really a fun experience.
I just rely on him.
Oh,
That's fair. I rely on them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think the record store experience is something that like is unmatched. Like, and I think it's the saving grace of record stores. Like, if you can go in there and get that personal touch and talk to the owner or talk to one of the employees, and they can like suggest you something that like blows your mind, like that's better than any algorithm. And there is something about like finding it yourself that is really rewarding. And I know that's a big thing in the DJ culture, because I also spin vinyl in my spare time. Like anytime I'm like, oh yeah, I love this record, and someone's like, oh, where'd you get it? I'm like, oh, I got it on Discogs. They're just like, they're just like, you didn't find it then, did you? Like, what'd you? It's like, yeah, I heard it on Spotify and I Discogged it pretty quick. Yeah, I don't know, but there is some of my favorite records, and the ones that I have the most fun playing are the ones like, oh, I found this when I was digging like in North Carolina, or like I was like on tour and I was in Chicago and I found this record just because I like the name, I like the name and the song name, and I was like, this might be good, and then it is. And it's getting harder now. Like I was like, I DJ'd in Chicago and I was trying to find stuff that wasn't really online. And fuck, man, most of my collection's online now. And I was like, damn, this sucks. Like I used to love when people would Shazam, be like, what is this? I can't find this. Like it's getting harder and harder to do now because everything's getting put online. It sucks. But yeah, that's the joys. I haven't done a lot of I think that's why I'm talking so much, because I haven't done a lot of podcasts in a while.
You end up listening to a lot of crappy music that way too.
Oh yeah.
You pull out a record like, oh, this looks sick, and then you throw it on, and then it's just an absolute miss.
I bought one that the cover looked pretty cool. I bought it. Ruben, funny 80s guy. Yeah. Really, really bad.
Have you ever fallen for the old vintage sealed vinyl that looks cool? Ooh. And then you buy it just, shot in the dark. You ever go for that?
Yeah, I've done that. And I paid too much for records many times for that. I'm like, yeah, sure. This is awesome.
Right. Sometimes it's great. And then sometimes you paid too much. You don't tell anybody that you did it.
And sometimes it just sounds good in the store. And because it's loud as fuck, and you're like, this is a great track. And then you like buy it and take it home, and you're like, this is the only good song on the record. Oh shit. Yeah. The rest of it's bad. Just shit. That's happened a lot to me.
I was gonna say I got lucky with that sealed one that I just purchased. I opened it up. I didn't even tell you it's a blue, like a transparent blue vinyl. So I lucked out. I don't know how it sounds, but it sure does look cool.
Yeah.
I've had that issue with like newer reissue vinyl that like it just sucks. Also, like I bought like a Snoop Dogg record from Barnes and Noble, and then it like fresh out of the sleeve, it just started skipping. I was like, oh, this is bad. This sucks. This is like overly manufactured vinyl, and there's like,
Yeah, some of those songs you find are like pivot songs. You're like, whoa, this is really cool. And then you listen to it for like 2 days in a row nonstop, and then you come back to it later and you're like, oh wait, this isn't so good.
Yeah.
I know prefer stores that, like the old school way where they have like listening stations or turntables you could throw on and like mess. I mean, you're buying used items, so you want to check it out. I hate places you walk in and then it's just, they don't let you touch the vinyl. You can't take it out. You can't hear it. It's like, well, I'm not going to buy from you then.
Hilarious. Just say Amoeba. Just say it. We don't have to hide from them. They do that shit, and it bothers the hell out of me. Every time I go there, I'm like, I have like my phone. I'm listening to it on YouTube. Like it's so annoying.
Well, yeah, they just sell like represses now. It's not even.
And I know their game, right? Like I went to Amoeba and SF. And I think that, the buyer is looking very closely to Spotify and seeing what pops off on Spotify. Because I went into the Joni Mitchell section and it was just one record. It was the one that had helped me on it. And I know from talking to my friends that everyone kind of got helped me, that record Clark or Cloak and whatever. We all kind of got that in our feeds at the same time. And so I think they pay attention to those trends as well. Because I was like, there's only one Joni Mitchell record. It's a reissue of the track that blew up on Spotify. This makes no sense. This is bullshit.
Conspiracy theories.
Dude, I'm in it. I'm on to the buyers at Amoeba. I know what your trick is, and I'm gonna expose you.
What about you, man? Where do you discover your music?
Man, I do. Yeah, I DJ a lot, so I do go to record stores when I'm on tour and kind of like look around and I'm friends with a lot of people online who share. Luckily, they'll share stuff. I don't really check out my Discover Weekly a whole lot on Spotify, but when I do, it's just like skip. Yeah, doing this podcast has been really great. Like, you guys, I'll listen to you guys. And after this, I'll probably listen to you guys for like another couple weeks until I have to do another interview. So it's like my Spotify Wrapped last year was just people I talked to on the podcast. I was like, okay, that's not very exciting. Like, it's like, yeah,
I was getting some cool recommendations from listening to your podcast too. Orange Juice was one in particular.
Oh, they're the best. Yeah, I love them.
Super cool.
I've been trying to interview Edwin Collins, but it's not worked out. You know, he had like a stroke in the mid 2000s, so I don't think he does a lot of interviews anymore. But he's great.
Yeah, we were doing a cover by him for a while there.
A Girl Like You.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because when I found out about Orange Juice, I was like telling people about Orange Juice, and I was like, yeah, it's this dude named Edwin Collins, and everyone's like, yeah, we know Edwin Collins, but like no one had heard of Orange Juice, but they had heard of that song because it was such a big hit, I guess. The same thing happened to me a few years ago. Before the pandemic, I was DJing at this bar, and I'd gotten really into China Crisis because of Spotify, and I was listening to a bunch of China Crisis, and this older guy was at the bar. I was like, dude, have you heard of this band? They're so good. He's like, yeah, they've been around for 40 fucking years. I was like, all right. Well, I just found out. I thought they were like a deep cut, but like they were not. He's like, yeah, who doesn't know about that band? I was like, me?
Yeah, man.
Not everybody knows everything. Like, what the fuck? Let's get you guys in some trouble. What do you think about the Joe Rogan, Neil Young? I want to hear a hot take. Do you think it's fun that Neil Young is taking his music off of Spotify and Joni Mitchell?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they can do what they want. I hate it because I love Neil Young.
Right.
And I primarily use Spotify. So it's like he's punishing me directly almost. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. People, I guess, are entitled to, it's their art. They can do what they want with it. It's kind of hard to say. Like, I don't know who you should be trying to hold responsible for those actions, or whatever it is. I'm not completely up to date on it. I didn't even look into it all that much. I just noticed like, oh, I can't listen to Neil Young anymore. What's going on? It's like, looked into it a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. People can do what they want, but I don't really see where
it's a little bit of a tease, kind of mean, but they can do what they want. We're not entitled to their art,
That's true. That's true. But yeah, I do feel entitled to their art. Why is that? Why do I feel like, hey, why are you taking that music away from me? I don't know.
Because it's specialty, man.
I do like those songs, yeah.
Right. Well, I'm sure there's a ton of terrible things on Spotify,
right?
That are probably even, more upsetting about that. But just because that one has popularity, then, they're kind of, holding Spotify accountable for taking it off or whatever it was, right? So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting times with all that.
I have been one of my dream pieces of content I've been trying to do is just like transcribe one of Joe Rogan's podcasts word for word and put it up and see if I get taken down, because I'm a fucking nobody. But if I'm saying the same exact things he's saying, do I get taken down and not Joe? I don't know.
Right. I mean, I don't listen to Joe Rogan, but it's like,
no.
I'm not defending him, but the whole thing seems a little, I'm not sure what the aim is exactly.
I just like, when artists were complaining about getting paid less, that's when this should have been happening. Like, I just think it's silly that they're doing it for Joe. Like, how about when we were arguing and fighting, like, people are fighting for a penny. That was my whole take off of it.
Well, Joe was the straw that broke the camel's back, man. They couldn't stand it no more.
I think it's kind of silly, but I think it's kind of funny at the same time too.
Well, then it's a lot of like these like folks that are like coming up in like freedom of speech times too. It's just like, okay, well, why are we like? I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm not defending anything that was said on whatever.
No, yeah.
But to my point, I'm sure there's a ton of worse things out there on Spotify, and no big artists are taking their music off of it to try to silence them. I don't know.
Totally. Now they're asking for Taylor Swift to join in on the protest. Yeah, because she did it before, and now she'll do it again.
Oh my!
It just seems like a publicity stunt.
Yeah. I saw a graphic the other day online that Napster is actually the best one for artists. I think it's like I think you make $1 after 397 streams, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd argue they're probably drawing more attention to that podcast that they're trying to.
It's another conspiracy.
I wouldn't even have known about it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's just making Joe Rogan more famous, I guess. But I don't know. I'm just trying to find alternatives to the current situation we're in with like Spotify and like, these fucking streaming platforms and Instagram. Is there a better way than Instagram? Like, are you guys on TikTok? Or is your band on TikTok yet?
I'm not.
Not really, but we post some of the videos that we do have on Instagram on there.
So there you go.
I like some of the videos that Silver Twin puts out on TikTok though, where they do covers and the harmonies and everything like that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're so good at that. Like they're
the
so
acapella things.
Oh yeah. They're so good at that. And I think I don't know. I want to see them live. That's one of those bands I'm like, I gotta see them live at some point. I don't know how. I don't know when I'm ever going to like London or anything like that, but one of these days.
What is are you on TikTok?
I am on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Oh yeah? Is it? It's pretty. Is it like quick videos? Like
as soon as you open that app, it's just video. It's like you just keep swiping until it figures out what you like and what you don't like. The algorithm is very advanced to the point where it like knows. It's like, hey, you like these kind of like the really weirdest part of a video. It's like, okay, it's like they find you videos on
your eyes looking.
Yes, very niche little things. It's weird. It's really weird, but it's awesome. It's very powerful. It's like you can post a video and you're like, whatever, just put it up there, and then it just does crazy numbers, and you don't know why, and there's no rhyme or reason, but it's weird. But I like it. It's better than Instagram, I think. I don't know. Because I don't know anyone on there, and like most of my friends aren't on there, so it's like I'm just watching strangers. Where Instagram is very personal now, it feels personal, and Facebook's a fucking wasteland. Are you guys still on Facebook?
Yeah, get it out of there. They're trying to do some creepy nonsense. Not a fan.
It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy on that. I go on there for my job. Obviously, I do social media marketing, so I'm on all these platforms. But like, it's a wasteland. But we saw this with MySpace. If you've been online long enough, then you see it coming. I don't know.
Yeah, those things have a shelf life for sure.
I derailed us enough. Let's get back into what it's all about. The music. You got the records. The records are here. The show is coming up. How are you going to show this music video? Do you have like a backdrop and a projector? What are we doing? How are we all watching the video at once at the show?
Well, I think that we're going to put it out online so that people can watch it, when they want to. They don't have to come to the show to see the video necessarily, but we will have a projector, and we probably will screen the video at some point during the show. But we'll probably be screening, other things while we play. But another thing that I forgot to mention that is going to be pretty interesting is we got new shirts made that are bowling shirts that are pretty appropriate for Highland Park Bowl. And it's a pink bowling shirt with the album art on the back. And then we also have the vinyl pressed on pink vinyl.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a shirt with you now, or can we see the shirt now?
Oh, I can go get it.
Yeah, go get the shirt.
You like that, Ruben?
Yeah.
I'd like to see the shirt. I like to see the shirt because I have an interest in merch right now, and like the process of making merch, how to make that into like a business.
Well, I always wanted to have these made because I just have a collection of bowling shirts already, and I'm a fan of them, and I just wanted something that I would personally wear. So out of selfishness, I made this one. But I think that it's kind of a cool thing that I think I saw. Who was it? It was Rodriguez. I saw him perform. He does Sugar Man, if you're familiar with that song. And he was selling hats that like didn't have his logo on it or anything like that. It was just like his hat, like because it's his kind of his signature.
Right.
And I was like, I want that damn hat,
Yeah.
what I mean? So this is kind of like our version of that. Yeah.
I missed the hat discussion. All right.
Oh.
So here are these beautiful pink bowling shirts.
We got the embroidery
Shit, that's crazy.
of the pocket, and then
What?
the album art on the back.
Oh my God, the album art.
Right. But these things are going like hotcakes at Highland Park.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ruben, if you're in town on March 4th, man, we'll see you there.
Okay, you might. I love it.
And I brought in Ruben. I brought in the
record
vinyl for you as well.
Oh,
so
that's
there's
awesome.
the album art. So we got this baby printed.
Yeah, they're all done.
Printed.
Yeah,
Track list. You could point out your favorite later.
Absolutely.
And then we'll show off that beautiful pink vinyl clear.
Yeah, let's check out the record. Oh yeah. Yep.
I didn't even know about that.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
So
yeah, totally. Wait, so where does one find someone to make these bowling shirts? What was that process like? Finding someone who's like, yeah, we have bowling shirts we can embroider for you.
Well, we made some ringers the first time, just like the first batch of shirts that we had. And my dad's friend they do apparel. They make shirts and clothing and stuff like that. So we just did it through him, and it was pretty easy. I mean,
really,
I just told him exactly what I wanted as far as like font and sizing and stuff like that.
Wow. Oh, because they can embroider any font on there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. See, that's what I love. These are the things I love. Like these these unexpected merch ideas.
Yeah.
Like fucking lick on tattoos. Like one band told me they have those. I was like, okay, that's the stuff I love. Like,
I think what we want to have too is something to give away for free. Maybe like a book of matches might be kind of cool.
Yeah, that one promoter in LA, Sid the Cat, he does that.
Oh, cool.
And those are great because why they like 10 cents, 50 cents or something. I can't remember how much they cost. They cost like nothing, 20 cents or something, and then you just give them away.
And no one's expecting them, and everyone loves them.
It's like, it's better than like a business card. At least people will like use them. People will use, and every time they use them, they'll think of you. I gotta do something like that, but I don't think I can. I don't think you can fly through customs. I don't fly that much. I just had to fly for I've flown more in the last 6 months I've ever in my whole life. So it's like now I'm thinking about like downsizing my gear for like flying kind of situations, and I'm just like, can I take match? I can't take matches on the plane. That's not allowed. Yeah. I don't know, but I love that. I love that. So there's a show, you got the merch, you got the records. That's gonna be great. One tip is Venmo. Are you guys taking Venmo for the merch?
Yeah, we're doing Venmo.
I just learned about this, and I was like, oh, this is like, because I had the little swipe thing, but I would forget it all the time.
Just like IOU slips.
Yeah, it's
written on a napkin.
I promise I'll pay you later. Like, I don't know. But like Venmo has been the biggest thing. And the next thing for me to do, another tip to put out here, because we're all about the tips, is to print the QR code and have that laminated so people can just do that. Because I've been telling everyone I was like, yeah, it's just the band name. And then it takes forever for them to type in the band name. I'm like, is this you? I'm like, yeah, it's me. And then
so we already took your money out of your account.
And I've seen other bands. Other bands have the QR code printed, and I'm just like, oh, smart. You're smart. I'm dumb. So now I'll take this and give it to the world via this podcast.
We were dumb about 10 seconds ago, so now we're smart.
Oh, good.
Too. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, we're about an hour. I have to eat dinner at some point, but thanks for talking. Is there anything you guys want to promote? Is there anything else people should know about your band?
What are you having for dinner?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna peek around and see what's left. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just let us know later.
I'll put it in the intro of this video. Yeah.
Yeah, just keep us posted on that. But March 4th is the album release, vinyl release, and we're putting our new music video out. And like I said, we're playing with these bands that are awesome. This like kind of 70s glam rock style band, and then this like 50s rockabilly kind of like Dwayne Eddy style band. Cool. And we have a couple cool DJs that are going to be doing like glitter disco 70s stuff. So really excited, and it's free. So it's going to be a good one.
Okay, good. We'll get this episode out quickly.